Good afternoon. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP Bangladesh. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP Bangladesh. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the afternoon. My name is Badhun Das. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. IGP is a social and ISO certified international training institute. In 3 years, we already serve 3 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 250 plus profession and 4,500 plus organization. Institute of Global Professional (IGP) is the training faculty for skill development, which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualifications. The Institute of Global Professional educated that provide social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve students and community research providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one skill just by acquiring formal education. So we try provide effective training and consultation to generate professional generation all over the world. We distributed our services locally, nationally, and internationally to student, job seeker, job holder, and also for learners who respect campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human right. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the free webinars, seminars, courses, awards, quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to serve more than 100 premium services for free, like create own portfolio, website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and wall platform for gathering general knowledge which can upgrade all day. Kids learning game, website, free courses, conversize, and many more. We help to empower you to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implement several training program webinars and offline online courses for youth and learners by professional trainers, speakers, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to skill all kinds of youth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. To ensure excellent and in-depth instructor, we arrange with qualified trainer, speaker, and instructor. We extended free services to more than 3 million knowledge seekers in the last 3 years. We have affiliation with universities and organizations in 70 different countries. Virtual mock signing with many colleges and organizations have been accomplished. We are working to create a legendary generation of future scholars who will be accountable. We are constantly prepared to assist all knowledge seekers with valuable service. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that knowledge is love and life and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and we serve them with good research practice method. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we represent. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective, best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and below. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next with your let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next with your continuous support, we already completed 1160 webinars successfully. Wow. Moving to the next with your continuous support, we already completed 1216 webinars successfully. Wow. At present, we are going to start our 1270 program name is the four P's for self transformation. And today, our speaker name is Ma'am Miss Dr. Marci R. Villanova. She is from Philippines. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker, ma'am, I want to share a very little bit about her. She is an education program specialist. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker, ma'am, to IGP with her presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker in IGP with her presentation.
Good afternoon,
Good
everyone. I hope you are,
afternoon.
yes, I hope you are doing well. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes, am
you
I?
are audible.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much, ma'am, for your introduction and for the chance given to me for the third time to be one of your speakers in this very prestigious organization. Without further ado, let me share with you my screen, and I hope that you will enjoy the session with me, though this will be available in our Facebook Live. Okay, so can you see now my screen? Can you see now my screen, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, your skin is visible.
Okay, so let me start with this first slide
Yes, ma'am.
projected on our platform right now. It is about four P's for self transformation, and your discussant and chair for this afternoon from the Philippines, Dr. Mercy R. Villanueva. Yours truly. Okay, so let me have first about self transformation or personal transformation. What about this? It is a thorough or dramatic change in form or character. One question would be, do you want to change? Change for the better? Do you want to progress as an individual, personally and professionally? Would you like to succeed in your life? Well, the question would also be with regard to what about changing or having self transformation? um, we have this saying that the only um, constant in this world is change, and that is really very true. That every now and then, we are changing, and that's one of the reality that we have to accept. But what about self concept of self transformation? So we will be able to transform as an individual through self concept. This self concept is the complex. It is complex, learned mental image of who we are that begins to form early in life. Our self concept is also because it is learned, a highly limited, if not false rendering of who we truly are. So, what about our understanding of ourselves? It is first very important for us to acknowledge our weaknesses and strengths before we finally transformed as an individual or have this what we call self transformation. We have to acknowledge those weaknesses that we have, and from those weaknesses we have to transform that to become our strengths. So, what then are we going to do now with the strengths that we have? Those strengths, we have to maintain that, but we also have to level it up for us to know our skills, for us to know our capabilities. That will be very nice for us as a person. And we have to motivate, we have to cultivate, we have to enhance that and use that for the betterment not only of ourselves but also for the other people. So it is how we learn and how we accept who we really are, whether we are a normal person or whether we are one of the special persons, shall we say, special in terms that we are challenged in some ways. Maybe that would be mental, physical, social, and those can be acknowledged as our weaknesses. But those weaknesses, just like what I mentioned, should be transformed to become strengths. And the understanding that we have for ourselves would help us to grow, will help us to prosper. Personal transformation is marked shift in our self concept. It is mentioned here that the core of all true personal transformation work in facilitating a marked shift, if not a revolution, in one's self concept. So there has to be change that would happen to us. A self concept. What about our how do we see ourselves, maybe 5 or 10 years from now, maybe a year from now? How do we see ourselves? That would be with regard to what concept do we have for ourselves. Do we really want to grow as an individual? Do we really need to prosper as a person? Do we really need someone who would help us to become what we are dreaming of? So that would be about that core. So let us talk about what is within us. That's the meaning of the core, that we have to listen to the innermost part of our body. And that can be our conscience, that would be our the heart that dictates us, or the mind that tells us that, hey, it's about time for you to change. It's about time for you to transform. It's about time for you to change for the better. The transformational shift that occurs is based on the readiness to dislodge more firmly established self concepts, to strip away all that does not reflect the I that is at the core of being. So, what about our readiness, our preparedness for everything that is going through? Maybe we would like to transform as an individual, but we are not yet prepared, because what this transformation doesn't only um, mean that that would be something about success, or some success or transformation in say for example in the field or in our profession, that we would like to succeed, that we would like to say for example would like to be promoted. But self transformation would something would tells us to know better ourselves, to speak of our weaknesses, to acknowledge those weaknesses, and later on transform that to become our strengths. What about our readiness? So we will be able to transform, we will be able to change if we are ready already, if we are that prepared for us to acknowledge that we have limitations, for us to acknowledge that we have also our disadvantages, that we also have our uncomfortable uh, parts, or maybe we are in the comfort zone and we would like to go into another field, for us to say that we can already survive. So what about the readiness of each one of us? Personal transformation is also a journey into our willpower, into a discovery of who we are beyond our identification with form and all the layers of our ego based self concept. We also have to acknowledge that sometimes we are very much egocentric. Sometimes we only would like to regard ourselves, and we would not want to give importance to other people. This personal transformation or self transformation is also telling us that this is a journey, and the journey of transformation is not that easy. That the journey of what we are going through, we have to experience hardship. We have to experience that what we call rocky road, for us to see the light of self transformation. There are persons who are sometimes very much inclined to vices. There are persons who are not following the right path or the right direction, but there has to be time, the remarkable time, for us to say, hey, I have to stop that. I have to go other way. I have to transform. I have to change for the betterment of my family, for the betterment, of course, of myself. And we can consider that as a journey. When we say a journey, it doesn't happen overnight. It has to go a process, and that process may not be that easy. And we also have to accept that in changing, in transformation, we have to experience, shall we say, um, selflessness. Okay, we have to acknowledge the importance of other people, and we have to disregard the ego that we have, but also see the light and importance of other people. Now, as you can see from the picture, we can see here self transformation. Just like the cycle of a butterfly, it started from a caterpillar. Okay, and the caterpillar was once in a cocoon, and for the caterpillar to be a beautiful butterfly, it has to transform. And just like putting that very own concept into our lives, we are also experiencing that we have to acknowledge the ugliness that we have. Just like the caterpillar, it seems like it is ugly. It seems that it is not presentable. It seems that we don't want to be a caterpillar, because putting that in the context of our lives, it seems that we will not be accepted by many because of the physical appearance maybe that we will be projecting to others. But just like self transformation, it has to undergo a process. It has to be a journey. There has to be a journey that we once have to be a caterpillar, and few days after acknowledging the the ugliness that we have, that we can figure it out through the weaknesses that we have, there after that we will there will be a time for us to transform. And just like the cycle of a butterfly, it became, there has to be a part from us that we have to live, and that part of us that we have to live may sometimes hurt us, and that hurt would give us enlightenment, that would give us acknowledgement of who we really are. And then finally, after few times, few months, few years of acknowledging the the ugliness that we have, and leaving and letting go of the ugliness that we have, there would come a time that we will be accepting the beauty that is within us. Beauty doesn't only mean something that we can see from the outside, but beauty is something that we can really see from the inside of every person. And that is one of the most important characteristics that we have to acknowledge among every person. And then after that, after the cycle of accepting, after the process of acknowledging the hurts, the hardships, there we can see the beauty, there we can see the colors, there we can see the light and the life that will be able for us to acknowledge that we have also our strengths. That would also be a time for us to change as a person. There we will be having our confidence to fly. There we will be having the confidence to speak up to other people, to show to other people that with the acceptance of our ugliness, with the acceptance of our weaknesses, there we can also see the light and the beauty that we can project to other people, and that adds color. And on that particular moment, that we would be having that self transformation, we will be like the butterfly, that we can fly with colors, that we will be fly with confidence, acknowledging the weaknesses and strengths that we have, and there will we become a better person. Okay, so that's the beauty of self transformation, just like we can see from the cycle of a butterfly. Now, with regard to self transformation, about real change, it is a kind of change that has a profound impact not only in your life. So, when we say transformation, when we say change, it is something that is genuine. It is something that would help us to become as a self transformed person. Something that we would not only acknowledge the strengths that we have, the skills, the capabilities that we have, but self transformation is also about acknowledging our weaknesses, acknowledging our past, acknowledging the sad points in our life, acknowledging the problems, and looking into a much brighter light for us to see also the solution that is possible for us to have this self transformation. We are sometimes we are the future is obscure because of our past. Sometimes that the road is not that easy for us to traverse because of the rocky road that we once journeyed on during the earliest time of our lives. But we have to see that, we have to face it, we have to acknowledge that I have to go on, I have to journey together with those weaknesses and past stories, sad stories of my life before, so that there will be a room for me to see the beauty of the next. And we do hope that the next stage or book of our lives will be a happy ending, that the next chapter of the book of our lives would be something that we will look forward to, because we can see the transformation little by little happening in our lives. Okay, so the topic that I have for this afternoon is about 4 P's, and for this time I will be giving to you the first P, and that is about our purpose. What is the purpose? What is the meaning why we are here? Uh, what about this purpose? It is a central motivating aims of your life, the reasons to get up in the morning. What is your purpose? Why you woke up every morning? There's why you look forward to for tomorrow? What's your main goal? What's your reason? What motivates you to do such acts? What motivates you to pursue your goals? What uh what motivates you to undergo the process, even if the process is hard, even if the process is difficult? What's your purpose? Purpose is also the guide life decisions, influence behavior. shapes our goal, offer a sense of direction, and create meaning. It is a way on how we see the direction. It is how we see our aim, our reason why we are here, the purpose that gives you life, the meaning that gives you to other person. For some people, purpose is connected to vocation. It may also be a meaning that satisfies work. What about your vocation? What about your profession? Vocation is something deeper than profession. Why are you here? Why are you there in your respective stations? Why are you there in your respective places, in your family, for example? Why you become the father or mother? Why you become the eldest in the family, for example? There's a purpose. And we have to know that purpose for us to have self transformation. Maybe it is very much advisable for us to pause for a while and see and recognize, why am I here? What is my purpose in life? Um, there are a lot of reasons we can state. There are a lot of reasons we can mention. Maybe you are here because you're the head of the family. Maybe you're here because you still have to run your business. You're there because you still have to take good care of your heirs, or of your family, for example, of your belongings, or of your possessions, okay, so on and so forth. You are there for the other people, you are there to serve. So you have to know the reasons why you exist, why you are there, and that's the main purpose. Acknowledging the purpose and why we are here would give us a reason why we need to change, why we need to transform. One of the questions would be, where do you begin, or where do I begin? How am I going to start? It is easy for us to say, I want to change, I want to become like that, I want to be idolized by other persons, I want to prove to them that I can do also what they are doing, I want to also prove the world that I am better than them. But um many of the tips that I can give you would be, first, you have to stop. First, you have to acknowledge the importance of silence. First, you have to acknowledge the importance of giving time for serenity, for quietness, for solitude. Okay, and that would be a main reason for us to also see the light of the reason or purpose that we have here. We have to stop. Sometimes we are very much bombarded with our schedule. Sometimes we are very much occupied with a lot of reasons, a lot of concerns, a lot of issues, and there's no time really for us to have a self check. But that's what we can do, is that for us to stop, breathe as well. Let us have time for us to breathe. Let us give time for ourselves to acknowledge that we are unhappy, or we are sad, that we are tired already. We have to acknowledge as well that um, we have to have time for us to relax, and that's also one of the best time that we can have, to have self transformation, to stop and breathe. Also, listen closely what your hearts dictate, no? Or listen closely what your heart dictates to you. There we can have the room for us to begin, if we will be able to listen to what our hearts dictate, or what our minds is telling us. Okay, but it is not only enough for us to stop, to have time to relax or have some point of relaxation, but we also have to let go. Let go of those hardships. Let go of those problems. Let go of those difficult issues. Let go of those concerns that may hinder you to change as a person, that may hinder you to transform as an individual. Let go of those past. Let go of those sad stories. Let go of those problems or issues that is confronting you. But let have time for you to begin. There, after having some time to stop, breathe in, breathe out, to pause, to acknowledge some time for relaxation, to listen closely to what your hearts and minds dictate, and letting go of those difficult moments, of those sad stories, of those bad moods. There would be a time for you to begin, begin and start anew, begin and start changing for a better, for better, changing for self transformation. Okay, moving on. Moving on. What about the key steps? What about the key steps uh, in self transformation relative to our purpose? First, realize that you need to change. Ask yourself, what can I do? How am I going to change? Do you really need to change? I think we all need to change. Change for the better. Or maybe not totally changing everything, but changing a little by little. Drop your ego. That sense of I must be released. You should not only think of yourself, but you also have to think of other person. You have to also think of other people. It should not only be I and I. It should not only be you who's very important. You also have to think of other people. Maybe because you don't, maybe the reason why you don't have friends, maybe the reason why you don't have someone to lean on to is that you're always thinking of yourself. You're always thinking of what is good for you. Now, let go of the fragmentation. Your whole being is like an orchestra performing a concert. Wow. Yourself is just like an orchestra. It means to say you're the pianist, you're the one playing all the instruments. It may, putting that into the context of our lives, maybe we are sometimes having or performing multitasks, and sometimes we don't need, or there is no time already for us to be quiet, for us to rest, just like what I've mentioned earlier, for us to have the time to relax, something like that. Okay. um there's oh and you're always performing just like an orchestra, doing simultaneously everything. Hey, you have to acknowledge that you also have your limitations, and you really need to pause, because sometimes you can't do anything because already doing a lot of things. Now, integrate reality, put all of life in perspective. Put all of life in perspective. Integrate reality. What about your present experience? What about your present experience? How will it lead you to the future? How will it help you to become a better person in the future? Attain transcendence, reach beyond yourself. You have to look into and consider that today is not only the important day, but you have to acknowledge also the future. You also have to acknowledge not only of your capabilities, of your skills, of your strengths, but you also have to have self transformation for you to have attainment of the highest level, and that would be to attain transcendence, is that you also have to go beyond, reach beyond yourself. Sometimes acknowledging our weaknesses would be best for us to also see and look into a better version of ourselves. Okay? Now, another P, the second P that I will be discussing and telling you this afternoon is about philosophy in life. The first is that about our purpose. The second would be our philosophy in life. It is about mental framework for understanding how the world works and how you fit into the world. Something like a deeper meaning. What is your deeper meaning? What is your deeper sense as a person? The philosophy of life would include things like how you decide what is good and bad, acknowledging the wrong, acknowledging the correct and incorrect, acknowledging the bad and good, because we are uh, a human, because we are human beings, and we are expected that we are becoming rational. When we say rational, we are using our intellect, because we are not only body and flesh, but we also have this rational capability, this rational capacity for us to grasp and consider what is wrong from what is right. So acknowledging the good and bad, where are you going to lead, what are you going to choose, the bad or the good? Of course, it is it is much easier for everyone to be bad, but the motivation and the encouragement is that for us to be a good person, so that we can have this self transformation. According to Buddha, we are what we think. All that arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. And that's very true. I really like this saying, this quotation from Buddha, that we are what we think. So we have to put in mind all the positive thoughts, because who we really are is the reflection of what is inside our minds. What we think is what we talk. What we talk is what is inside our brain. How we deal with others, it is what our brain dictates us. So all that arises with our thoughts. Everything that we do, it is being dictated by our brain. It is being dictated of what inside our brain. So with that, with our thoughts, we make the world. So with our thoughts, we will be able to have a good world. With our thoughts, we will be able to transform the world. But with our thoughts as well, we will be able to have a chaotic world. It is because of the thoughts that is inside our brain. So what are we going to do then? We have to fill our minds with positivity, with good thoughts, with positive, with positive things. And with positive things that is in our mind, there we will be able to talk, to share, to be able to transform as a person, for us to be able to walk our talk, that whatever we say, we will be doing that, because because our thoughts will make the world. So you better check what is inside your brain, what is inside your the one the what is inside your hearts, or what is inside your brain, because what you're doing is being dictated by your brain. So you can do it if your brain is telling you I can do that, because everything is possible with positive thoughts. Okay. Now, first, just like what I've mentioned, we have to be very optimistic. How can we have this, what we call positive thinking, or how can we develop more as an individual? There has to be positive thoughts. We have to be optimistic. Optimism implies imbibing a positive outlook in your approach toward the present and the future. Maybe your past is bad, but you still have the present. You have to look forward into a brighter future. There's still room for improvement. And there is also the saying that the widest room available for everyone is the room for improvement. Means to say we still have a second chance. And that's about optimism. Having a positive outlook can change the way of living to a drastic level and keep a person mentally as well as physically calm. You see, if you're if you're calming your thoughts, you're saying to yourself that, hey, I will be well, I am well, I will be able to surpass that. You will be physically calm, you will be physically fit. But if you're telling to yourself, I am not well, it is hard, I can do that, I will not be able to change, of course you're not going to change at all because your line of thinking is that. Okay? Second, maximize happiness. So we have to treasure every moment and we have to have a time for us to enjoy life. Just like what Aristotle put in, happiness depends on oneself. Happiness is the end which meets all the requirements. It is a state of mind. It is a state of mind telling us it is not happiness does not only depends on your possession. Does happiness doesn't only mean how successful you are, how many possessions you have, or what about your status in life, or maybe it is not only about your achievements. What happiness is how you see yourself, how you see life. Okay, and it is about your mindset. Okay, it is about contentment, it is about your state of mind. Okay, that I am happy even if I don't have that. I am happy and I am contented with what I have. Okay, and we have to acknowledge that many of the most important things in life that we always neglect into are the free things, just like air, just like water, uh, just like the purity, the cleanliness of the air. Sometimes we are not acknowledging that, but those are some of the important things, and those important things are all free, and that simple things would make us happy as a person. To create a deeper connection with oneself, one should always try to meditate to keep calm. Meditation can help one person to be of great extent. So have time to relax, have time to have self check, have time for you to listen into what your body is telling you. Okay? The third P, we're now down to the third one. It is about presentism, the importance of now, the importance of today. Living in the present moment is something which one must have heard quite often by various motivational speakers. It is acknowledging the importance of today. That's why every time we woke up in the morning, let us say, thank you, Lord. Thank you for another day. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for the gift of friends that I have today. Thank you for the gift of companionship that I have today, the importance of today, the presentism. Of course, we also have to acknowledge the past, but we also have to give importance and relevance to the present. The past is dead, the past is already gone. Its occurrence cannot be altered, it cannot be changed already. You cannot change already what had happened. And the occurrence of the future isn't certain. You don't have the certainty of the future, you don't have the certainty of tomorrow. So why take the burden of thinking about the times that have passed and that are not yet to come? Always live in the moment, seize the day, see the importance of today, see the importance and the beauty of life that you have today, see the importance of your family, the everything that is happening to you today, the importance of that, because it is giving you strengths, it is giving you enlightenment, it is giving you lesson for you to have self transformation. Just like what I have here, you cannot change the past, you cannot you cannot have a perfect plan for tomorrow, but you can have a perfect today, the acknowledgement of the importance of today. Presentism give your 100%. People often think about the past and worry about the future. There are persons who are very much afraid of tomorrow. They're telling to themselves, "Hey, what am I going to do tomorrow? Why? How can I do that?" Um, their preparations would always be, what will I be 5 years from now? My dream is that 5 years from now I will be that, I will be this. But you're not thinking of your health today. You're not thinking of your relationship of your to your friends today. So how can you have the 5 and 10 years in the future if you're not already giving importance to your health, for example, for today? But the future will exist only if you live freely in the present. Don't cross your bridges until you come to them. Don't cross the bridge. No, or maybe let us just cross the bridge when we are there. Don't worry too much of tomorrow. Just have and just give importance of today. It doesn't mean that you're not going to plan for tomorrow. That's not what I'm telling you today. But what I'm telling is that you have to see the importance of today, so that there will be a brighter future. There will be a brighter tomorrow. Okay, you will have a good relationship to your friends if you are giving importance to them today. You will be asking favor to them tomorrow if you're building good friendship with those people. All right, so in accordance with Buddhist presentism, everything past is unreal because it's already gone, it's already done. Everything future is unreal. Everything imagined, absent, mental is unreal. So our future is still unreal because it's not yet happening. The past is already unreal because it already happened. So where is the real and what is the reality? Where is the reality? The reality is today. The reality is at the present. Ultimately, real is only the present moment of physical efficiency. Don't struggle to be in the present. We overestimate what could be and underestimate what is right in front of us. Sometimes we underestimate the future. We're telling to ourselves, "Hey, I will be able to do that because I already did that in the past." But you're not looking into the importance of today. So how can you be able to solve a problem, for example, for tomorrow? Thinking about the present will help in increasing productivity, staying calm, and aid better decision making. So, giving importance of today will lead us to become a productive person. You're telling to yourself, "Hey, I would like to change my my lifestyle. I would like to change today how am I dealing with other person. I would like to change my perspective today so that I will be able to have a brighter future. So that I will be able to have I will be able to attain success, for example." Okay? And the last P, we're down now to the last P, my dear IGP friends and professionals. So, according to Socrates, an unplanned life isn't worth examining. So, there has to be plan. The fourth P is about plan. It is not only important for us to know our purpose, it is not only important for us to know our philosophy in life. It is not only important for us to give importance of the present, but we also have to consider the significance of our plan. Everything will happen correctly as planned if we have a proper process to follow, if we have the good direction for us to attain such. Plan is a mechanical life with an unthinking routine under the rules of others without examining whether or not you want to live with those routines or rules is not worth living. So if you're not having a plan, if you're not planning for your future, you're telling this 5 years from now, 10 years from now, hey, how will that 5 or 10 years will happen if you don't have plan? So you have to plan for self transformation. If you really have to be fit, if you want to be fit, hey, you check how, what about your lifestyle, what about the food that you're taking, what about your diet, what about your exercise, are you doing that? You have to plan. Okay, making plans and setting goals is extremely crucial to lead a healthy life. In today's time, when everybody is rushing to do everything at one go, things usually don't work. It's best to get a time limit and short, attainable term goals. We have the saying that we have in planning, we have to consider SMART. SMART is means it has to be sustainable. Our plan has to be sustainable. It has to be measurable as well. It has to be also attainable. It has to be also time bounded. Okay, it has to also be something that is realistic. Okay, so smart. No, when we plan, it has to be smart. Once again, it is about our it is about sustainability. Okay, is it sustainable? Is it measurable? Is it what about your plan? Let's take it one by one. What about the sustainability of your plan, of your purpose? Is it only good for a day or for a month or for a year? When we say sustainable, it lasts. Okay, when we say our plan is measurable, it is really attain. Is it something like we can be able to attain to? Is it something like we can be able to do it in a certain time? Okay, if you say that I will be able to do that in 5 years' time, so it's measurable. Okay, what about the attainability of that? Is it something like attainable considering the time that you have? Okay, what about the 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 or the or is about the realistic. Okay, it is about realistic. What about your plan? Is it something like realistic, or it is just like very ideal? It is not realistic. When we say realistic, something that it is that would happen, something like it is really attainable for you to have it, something like that it is quantifiable, something that it is valid, that it would became, or that it would became realistic. And of course, in planning, it has to be time bounded. There has to be time. There has to be when we plan, when we have the timetable, when we have the timeline, there has to be specific time for us to accomplish, for us to finish. This leads to better accomplishments that provide better mental health and helps to make enough time to spend with the near and dear ones. Okay? So, what about the importance of planning? I will be mentioning to you 10 of the importance of planning for have a self transformation. First, planning helps you to achieve your purpose. So, the first P that I discussed with you a while ago is about our purpose. So, if we are planning, we will be able to attain our purpose. We will be able to attain our goals or objectives. Planning helps us to set your priorities right. Okay? So, what about your plans? Maybe you're planning to succeed in the field of profession. What about your relationship? What are you going to prioritize? Are you going to prioritize first your family before your profession or before your career? Or are you going to prioritize first your health? Or are you going to prioritize first your relationship? Or are you going to prioritize first your travel, the leisure? Okay, so there has to be prioritization of everything, and that will be true. You will have a proper prioritization if you are planning. Now, planning also clarifies the process. Okay, it gives you enlightenment, it gives you a way on what to do first and what to do next. It will lead you into how are you going to attain the perfection, how are you going to attain the final stage. It is about the process. Planning gives you a timeline. That's very important. And that's what I've mentioned to you a while ago about SMART. Planning gives you a timeline that it is giving you, say, for example, I will be able to attain good posture after 3 months. Because what I'm going to do is that every day I'm going to only eat this. Okay, and I assume that after 3 months I will be able to attain uh, um, such weight. See, for example. Okay, so there has to be a timeline in everything that we do. For us to have a self transformation, there has to be a timeline. So we have to project, I will be that, but there has to be certain limits. There has to be certain time where we are going to attain such objective. The fifth one is about it gives you a sense of the future. When you say you're planning that I will be successful, I will be having my own family, for example, I will be able to finish my education, I will be able to um, um, achieve my master's degree, for example. So it gives you a sense of the future. It is some like you are assuming, you are already having a picture of what will happen to you in the coming days, in the future. And that gives you motivation. It gives you a sense of importance. It gives you a sense of what to look forward to. Okay, now down to the last five. I've already gave you 5 tips of the importance of planning for us to have a self transformation. The sixth one is you'll understand and have control over things. Of course, because you're planning, even if there would be certain times that we are thinking, hey, it would be easy for me to do that, but sometimes we are being um, triggered with unexpected issues or unexpected moments, but it would become controllable if we are planning. Because when we are planning, there has to be alternatives. When we plan, there has to be options. If this one will not work, what will be my alternative? If you have plan A, there has to be plan B. And that's the importance of planning. Okay, so even if you're planning, there has to be alternatives. You have to have your priorities, for example, but there has to be points. If this process or if this way will not work, I'll do otherwise. I'll do the next step. I'll do the next move. The seventh one is planning gives you alternatives, just like what I am telling you. It's the sixth one is very much related to the seventh importance. It gives you alternatives. It gives you options that makes you everything that is going through controllable. Okay, because you are planning. Okay, and it also gives you a sense of it also triggers your critical thinking. It also helps you to discover your skills, to discover your strengths, to discover your capabilities. Giving alternatives would help you discover things that sometimes you don't know, but you will discover it along the process. And the eighth importance, it builds your confidence. Okay, it builds your confidence in a way that I am planning, so I have alternatives already. I know my purpose. I know what plan am I going to do or what process am I going to follow. So there you will be confident to do that because everything is being planned. Okay, it's just like building your house. Okay, you have to look into your budget. You have to look into, of course, the place where you're going to build your house. For example, who will be the ones to build your house? What about the logistics? What about the materials that you're going to use? What about the extra money, the alternatives? What about the extra money that you will be spending for that, even if you already planned how much you're going to spend in building your house? It gives you confidence because everything is planned. Okay, the ninth one is it makes you a better person. Okay, it makes you a better person because you are discovering your 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 likes and dislikes. Okay, it gives you a sense of the future, and with that, it gives you a sense of and acknowledging the beauty of yourself. It gives you a chance to have a second chance, or to at least see the beauty of the future, acknowledging, of course, what had happened, and that is the past, acknowledging, of course, what is happening now, and that is the present. That will lead you to become a better person. Okay, because if you learn for what you experienced before, you're not going to do that anymore today, and for with that, it will lead you to your decisions in the coming days, and would help you become a better person. And last but not the least is about motivation. It gives you motivation uh, regarding what will happen next. Motivation comes when you plan. It gives you motivation. Seeing yourself 5 or 10 years from now, it is just like giving you drive to do every now and then, day by day, encouraging you to strive more, because you are looking forward into who will you become in that particular time, who will you become in that particular moment in your life. And that would be possible if you're planning, and you're looking into your plans, you're looking into not only of your success, but a more deeper sense, and that is self transformation. Everything will be possible if you plan. So once again, the four P's that we discussed this afternoon is of course about, first, our purpose. Very good. Second is about our philosophy in life. Okay. The third one is about presentism, the importance of today. And last P is about plan or planning. We have to consider the importance of having plans in our life. So hopefully all these four P's will help us to become a self-transformed individual, not only for the betterment of ourselves, but also for us to have a better relationship with other people. Our self transformation will only not benefit ourselves, but also it will benefit other persons. And with that, I would like to thank you all for this wonderful opportunity that was given to me by IGP. And these are the references that I used rather in my presentation. Once again, thank you, IGP, for these wonderful opportunities. Hopefully, there will also be room for another time for me to share once again another topic in this wonderful organization. God bless everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, dear ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we'll be back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have an webinar certification and online quiz competition. Welcome back, ma'am. Welcome back to our participants. Ma'am, our first question is from Flami. Blessed Sunday, everyone. Magadang, Hopan, ma'am, Dr. Marcy Romas. What is the purpose of transparency in our life? How can we attain transparency? Memorying Salamat, ma'am.
All right. So thank you very much, Sir Flomi Salviejo from the Philippines, also for that question regarding purpose of transcendence in our life. When we say transcendence, it is something like the in philosophy, we also have to see the transcendence that we have limitations, and one of the reality that we have to accept as well is that our life will end. Okay, and if we acknowledge the beauty of our life at the present, recognizing our purpose, our philosophy in life, as well as the importance of today, and also having a plan of tomorrow, doing our mission, the vocation or the profession why we are here, that would all lead us to transcendence, that would lead us into a better idea of a quote unquote perfection of ourselves. That is what we call, also known in the hierarchy as self actualization. The self actualization, something like acknowledging also the idea of the process that that we have to take into our lives, no po? So that we will be able to attain transcendence, being able to do our mission, our purpose, acknowledging that, knowing our purpose. That's why it is very important for us, to know really our purpose, our aims, our objectives in the different fields where we are in, for us to be able to have transcendence. Transcendence in its sense is very much deeper, no, so for us to acknowledge as well our weaknesses po, and being able to know the reason why we exist, just like transcendence, as Mariam Dictionary would like to mention to us, it is about existence or experience beyond the normal or physical level. It is something like acknowledging the beauty of what we have, and the beauty of what we have would only be possible if we acknowledge really the beauty in that what is happening to us. Just like what I mentioned earlier in the discussion, it depends on us how we see everything clearly in our lives, how we look at it as beauty or as a gift. And hopefully, Sir Flomi, I was able to answer that question. And thank you for tuning in this IGP presentation. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for your answer. Ma'am, our next question is from a Facebook user. I just want a clarification on when you say dwell on presentism, but can't we base our presentation situation on past situation? Can't we use the past to build the present of future?
All right. So thank you once again to that Facebook user in relation to your clarification on when you said on regarding what I said earlier, dwell on presentism, but can't we base our present situation on past situations? Can we use the past to build the present or future? Of course, in the discussion that I had a while ago, I did not only made focus on the importance of presentism or of today, but we also have to acknowledge the past, because the past will lead us to have a better today, and that today will be able for us to have a better future. So learning from the past will lead us into the understanding of the present, and will lead us to the understanding as well and seeing into the better future. So the presentism is giving us an acknowledgement of what is happening now, that there is still room for us to change, that even if we experience bad things, say for example in the past, there's still a better today, and we have to see the light of today, the importance of the better today. And with that present today, we will be able to have a better future. We will be able to have a brighter future. So there is the interrelatedness of the past, the present, and the future, without discriminating, or without giving less importance of the past. That's not what I mean. It is giving importance or acknowledging the past, but we also have to see the light of today, the gift of today, for us to be able to transform, have a self transformation, because self transformation does not is not possible in the past. Self transformation is happening now, and you will also be self transformed in the future if you have a correct path, a correct purpose, a correct philosophy, giving importance of the present, and planning, of course. Not only when we say plan, it is not only of today, but planning includes the future. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your answer. Ma'am, our next question is from Carol. How can we identify our desire to transform positively in times of strong discouragement from our immediate colleagues and in times in which we are already affected by negative thought?
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Carol. How can we intensify our desire to transform positively in times of strong discouragement from our immediate colleagues and in times in which we are already affected by negative thoughts? That's why uh, um, we have to have our positive mindset. Of course, we cannot please everyone, and that's one of the reality that we have to accept. Even if we would like to be to transform, even if we would like to succeed, even if we want to change, we have to accept the reality that there are a lot of persons around us that would put us down, that would discourage us. But what is important is that our motivation, our motive, our purpose. What is the purpose that drives us to change? What is the main goal or main reason why why we are doing this? Despite of all the discouragement, of course, from our immediate colleagues, we have to have our self check, and that should serve only as our motivation to still go further. It should not serve as discouragement, as a way for us to be weakened as a person, but it should help us to do well, to do more, despite of all the negativities, despite of all the things that may affect our our perspective, that may affect our, maybe our, sometimes there are a lot of gossips, there are a lot of discouragement. They may tell us, how can she be able to do that? How can Miss Carol Sepilio will be able to do that? In fact, she's only that, and I am already established. I already achieved a lot of things, so on and so forth. But you have to stick in your mind, if she can succeed, I can also succeed. And those are just spices that gives you motivations to still pursue your dreams, to still pursue your ambitions, to still prove to them that you are worthy as a person. Okay, thank you for that question, Miss Carol. I hope I was able to answer your question.
Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much. Ma'am, our next question is from Jersey. Does the four P's for self transformation applies to all aspects of life and why?
Okay, Sir Jersey, it is not. It doesn't apply to all aspects in life, but it may be helpful in one way or another on how you will be able to solve or have self transformation. Maybe for us to have a self check. Maybe there are a lot of other P's that we may include for self transformation, but for this particular time, I was just able to focus on these four P's about our purpose, our philosophy, our the present, giving importance into the present, and of course about our plan or planning. Okay, but just like it doesn't apply in all aspects. Maybe you may just get two of those four. Maybe one P is just good for you. Say for example, that would be planning, but it doesn't apply at all times simultaneously. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answer. Ma'am, our next question is from I am Roxy. How can we overcome those colleagues trying to pull you down and always looking into your faults?
Okay, so we have to accept the reality that though there are a lot of persons who would like to pull us down, just like the crab mentality that we know, that some crabs, whenever we want to go up, still there are crabs who will pull us down, that who would uh, tell us, hey, you will not be able to succeed because you are just uh, uh, I am Roxy Velasquez. No, but you have to prove to them, I have to go on. I have to look into my flaws. Of course, you have to acknowledge your flaws. You have to acknowledge your weaknesses. You have to acknowledge the disadvantages. You have to acknowledge your difficulties, your your shall we say the things that you cannot do. You have to acknowledge all those. We should not pretend that you will be able to do everything, but acknowledging those flaws, acknowledging those weaknesses that you have, will lead you into transforming that weakness into your strengths. And having positive thoughts, having good plan, having and acknowledging your purpose, your goal, putting a timeline for yourself, it will be easy for you to succeed. It will be easy for you to attain your goal. Just like what I mentioned in one of the live audience that we have regarding those colleagues who are giving you or pulling you down, very much related to your question, Mom Velasquez. Still, you just have to consider that as your spices. Those should be your motivation, not for you to stop, but for you to go on. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, our next question is from Facebook user. Ma'am, sometimes we plan things we do not achieve. For example, in a day, I write down 10 things, but by the end of the only accomplish a few. Advice to how best to stick to your plans.
All right. Thank you very much. Sometimes I'm also that, and maybe all of us are that. We would like to get perfect 10, but we will only be able to finish 5. What is good is that, just like what I mentioned in the cycle that I presented to you a while ago, go on. Okay, you should not stop there, but you have to go on. One step accomplishment out of 10 is already good start. Having 2 is better. 4, 5, congratulations, because you already reached the half of your plan. But you should not stop there. You have to be motivated to still proceed, to still continue and finish the whole process, so that you will be able to say to yourself, I achieved, I accomplished. Okay? So, advice on how best to stick to your plan. Still, you have to know your purpose. You have to be able to know and to look forward to um, who would you like to become in the next future, or in the in the next days, or in the future. Um, just like what I've mentioned, 5 is already good because you already met the half of it. But you should not stop there. Maybe at times you will be tired already. Sometimes you would like to give up already because there are a lot of issues and concerns that you have to consider. But you have to stick to your purpose. You have to stick to your plan. And without recognizing, you already reach the perfect 10. Okay? Thank you.
once again, thank you so much, Honorable Ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topics. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable Ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new date. Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you very much once again for this opportunity given to me by IGP. Looking forward for another talk with you. Thank you.
Honorable ma'am, before we do the next webinar certification process, if you want to leave this studio, you can, ma'am.
Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am. IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and online quiz certification. Today our webinar topic is the 4 ways for self-transformation, and the code is IGP1005 and the code is IGP1005. Without code, no one is eligible for certificate. With code, you can claim your certificate anytime. How to claim an e-certificate? Go to www.eduigp.com, click sign in, log in, or create a new account if you are new. Once logged in, click free webinar, select the webinar title and click continue course, get enrolled if you haven't enrolled yet. Type the code in your certificate code box, click your get your certificate. It is auto downloaded in PDF file already. Just check it in the file manager or download folder. Don't forget to leave a review in our FB page, website, and in Google. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, it's time for the most engaging part of our webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activities. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Go to www.slide.com and find today quiz or scan this QR code for direct joining. Quiz code is afternoon. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. Don't forget to mention your friend to join our quiz session. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is afternoon. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is afternoon. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is afternoon. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is afternoon. Please join in Slido with the code and the code is afternoon. With 33 people, we are going to start our quiz session right now. Our first question is which is not of the four pieces for manual handle? Option 1, crucio. Option 2, position. আর উত্তর দিল No, দাও দিয়ে আমি ওটা দিয়ে Option 1, crucio is the right answer. 46% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Gimelian is holding the first position. Our second question is what are the four pieces? Option 1, place, product, price, promotion. Option 2, revenue, profit, place, promotion. করলে ভালো। হ্যাঁ ও দেখেন Option 1, place, product, price, promotion. The right answer, 82% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Gimelian is holding the first position. Our third question is, durable goods are goods that last for a while. Option 1, true. Option 2, false. Option 2, false. The right answer, 52% people are right here. The leaderboard, Flami is holding the first position. Our fourth question is, what does self-sufficient means? Option 1, little resource. Option 2, enough to provide yourself. Option 2, enough to provide for yourself is the right answer. 100% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Flami is holding the first position. Our fifth question is, What does CNS stand for? Option 1, Central Nervous System. Option 2, Central Nervous System.
আর দাঁড়ান দাঁড়ান পাইবেন না 250 টাকার ফাউন্ডেশনের সাথে 5,000 টাকার ফাউন্ডেশনের একটা দেওয়ার পড়বে এই তো কার বেশি তো আরে ওটা বিউটির সাথে বিউটি গ্লেন্সের ফাউন্ডেশনের একটা তুলনা করবো দেখি কার গলায় জোর বেশি অর্থাৎ কার কভারেজের জোর বেশি
Option 2, Central Nervous System is the right answer. 79% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Flammy is holding the first position. Our sixth question is Yahoo is an acronym for option 1, yet another hierarchical officers oracle, option 2, yet additional hierarchical office and oracle.
সবাই
Option 1, yet another hierarchical officers oracle is the right answer. 22% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Jordan is holding the first position. Our seventh question is, what does OPIC stand for? Option 1, Organization for Peace Industry Computers. Option 2, Organic Peanut in Cans. Option 1, Organizer for the Industry Competitors is right answer. 74% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Jordan is holding the first position. Our eighth question is, PCP is a medical abbreviation for option 1, Patient Care Practitioner, option 2, Primary Care Provider. Option 2, primary care provider is right answer. 57% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Swami is holding the first position. Our ninth question is, for how long should suction be performed? Option 1, 100 seconds. Option 2, 10 seconds. Option 2, 10 seconds is the right answer. 50% people are right here. In the leaderboard, Flamy is holding the first position. Our last and final question of this session. 4 piece of marketing dash. One has got to got. Option 1, product. Option 2, piece. Option 2, piece is the right answer. 3% people are right here. In the leaderboard, congratulations, our quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. Slido will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and group, Institute of Global Professionals. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. Slido will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and group, Institute of Global Professionals. Congratulations to our online quiz competition winner top 10. Congratulations again. Slido will take a few minutes for finalizing the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on our official Facebook page and group, Institute of Global Professionals. Congrat- at the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end like button, once again to thanks all IGP knowledge seeker for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.